Okay, thanks everybody for coming. Just want to mention that our game time this week is against Tulsa out here. Saturday is at 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. General admission tickets are $10, available by calling 747-5234. And Saturday is also Take a Kid to the Game Day, where fans can receive one child ticket free with the purchase of an adult ticket in the bronze reserve section. Also, the first 5,000 fans will receive foam fingers courtesy of Academy Sports. Okay, we're very, very pleased to have Lisa here with us today, and Darren. Yes, it's good to be here. A little inside joke there. But looking at the game this last weekend, it was so much fun. It was so much energy, so much excitement on our sideline from our team, from our coaches, from our fans. The weather was great. The game was a lot of fun to watch. A lot of, I don't know, a real good feeling Saturday night. The way that the fans responded to our players, and our players played with much more energy and enthusiasm and intensity than they did against Rice, and it was just a lot of fun. Football's a game of mistakes. Whomever makes the least mistakes wins, and we made some mistakes and we had some adversity, but no one panicked, and I thought that's one of the main things I liked about how we did. We had to change our kicker or kickers in the middle of the game, and gee, they stepped up and did a great job. And obviously we had to change our quarterback, and Carson Meager came in and did a great job. We looked fast, we looked fresh, and we looked like we were having fun. And we won in the fourth quarter. And we still got to take care of the football better. But we had a real good week of practice, and it looked like we played like we practiced. So I thought in the special teams, we had 2 punt returns for over 30 yards apiece. After Mike muffed the one punt, he still came back there and did a good job in catching the punts and not fielding the punts in certain situations because the wind was swirling and did give us some anxious moments. But no penalties in the special teams game. We're covering like crazy, man. We're just covering kickoffs and covering punts really well. They only had 1 punt return for 5 yards and never got to the 30-yard line on the kickoff returns. And then, I thought Mike Scott and Steve Valdez did a tremendous job in kicking when Dakota got hurt. And actually, so nice to have Matt Camille there at center because he does such a great job in snapping the balls right there all the time. And being Steve's left-footed kicker, then his holder's Ian Campbell. And when Mike Scott kicks, his holder would be Carson Meager. So it's a little bit different there between those, a little something that you don't really notice, but there was a change, new guys being put in there. On offense, we sustained some good drives, but still need to do better in the red zone, the orange zone, and in the goal line. We've been really good in goal line coming up until this game, and of course when it was 4th and 1, we had an opportunity there and didn't take advantage of it and get a touchdown. But we finally executed our, we call it pay dirt offense, where we're no huddle and everything's on the ball, hurry up offense. We were going to run that third quarter with Carson Meager, but since Carson got to play in the second quarter, we thought, well, why wait? Let's just go ahead and do it. And I thought we did a nice job with that. Got our rushing game back together, over 250 yards rushing, and Joe Banyard and Vernon Frazier both averaged over 7 yards a carry. We only had 1 sack, and we were 69% completions. So we did some good things in the running game and broke some long runs. East Carolina, before this game, was second in our conference in passing, well over 400 yards per game passing, 10th ranked in the nation at well over 400 yards passing, and we held them to 133 yards, our defense did. And their longest pass reception was one of 15 yards. So we tackled much better than we have in the open field than a couple of previous games. Got 2 interceptions. First time all year the defense scored, and got a touchdown on Darren Woodard's interception. I don't know how many games Woodard has missed. Has he missed 4 games? Since Tulane? Yeah, that's right, Tulane. And then Trayvon Nixon, this is only his third full game that he's played in. So, and he's got 4 interceptions. So those 2 kids really did a nice job for us on defense. And we had another goal line stand and a couple other sacks. We had 2 sacks. Could have had about 10 sacks, I think. But the quarterback got rid of the ball so quick. He just caught it and threw it. And the guy's coming free, and their tackles weren't blocking our ends, but we just couldn't get there fast enough. If it had been the kind of offense where a guy will hold the ball and try to go downfield a little bit longer with it, well, then we would have had more sacks. Any other questions on the East Carolina game?
Before the game, Dakota Warner was riding the bike. She had to do a lot, and he was doing a lot of extra stretching. Did he kind of come in gimpy?
Well, I didn't know that he had come in gimpy, but I think he didn't come into the field the day of the game gimpy, or hurt. But I think he strained his groin during the warm-ups, and although he kicked very well in warm-ups. And so Aaron said, go over on the bike, take an Advil, get on the bike, get warmed up, make sure you're warmed up for the game. And so, and then he missed the 2 and sprained the groin. So it happened that's how fast it happened. He missed the field goal, and then by the time Aaron got to him, I think he was just about ready to kick the extra point again, and then missed that. So because it happened bang bang, it was on the interception that he missed the extra point, so we didn't really have time to adjust.
How's
He didn't do anything yesterday except get treatment. Both he and Dakota didn't run, and it's a good. Both of them have good sprained groins, so we won't know until tomorrow. I'll know more probably tonight after I see him.
But as far as Meeker's performance, after breaking it down a little bit further, what were you most pleased with, and where would you like to see him improve for this?
Well, I was very, very pleased with Carson's demeanor, his leadership skills, his charisma, his moxie in the game. Very cool, very enthused, just fun to be around him. He's more outgoing, I guess, and than Nick. Nick's more businesslike. But I think Carson played very, very well and was very pleased with the way he handled the game. And if it wasn't for him, it could have turned out differently. I thought he came in and really did a great job for us. Didn't play perfect by any means, but did real good.
That zone read run option was pretty effective, but are you a little worried about having that run ball when he gets hurt?
Well, then we'd probably just go with Javia, or Tate. Yeah, probably. Again, it depends on what the score of the game is and how the situation is, but we're not ruling Nick Lamison out by any means for the game. We'll just have to see how that goes.
Was the no huddle something that worked on?
Yeah, we worked on it every week. We worked on it since the Coral. And Carson ran that in high school, and Nick didn't. So it was new to Nick and wasn't new to Carson. He just kind of more natural for Carson to do it. So that's why we're going to do it with him. And we practiced a lot more with Carson than we did with Nick. But we practiced it every single week because just about every team we played against runs the no huddle, you know, or the hurry up.
What's your plan at kicker? You have a competition with Scott?
No, we're not going to have a competition. We'll just see how Dakota's going to be too. It'll be the same type of thing. If Dakota isn't the kicker, then we would probably kick Mike Scott for extra points, and or Kevin Lopez, and then Steve would kick the long distance ones. But we're not in that position right now, so right now going into the game, I would think Dakota could be our kicker and Nick could be our starting quarterback, and we won't know that anything more till probably Tuesday or Wednesday. But I sure do appreciate the enthusiasm of the crowd, and it was great when we came out at halftime. They all stood and applauded and cheered for us, and I was thinking, what was going on in halftime? But I guess our band director got out there and got everybody fired up, so that was fun. Oh, that's one of the defense's better efforts of the year. I certainly think so. I mean, we played, like I said, if he would have kept the ball just one more second, we would have gotten more and more sacks. So the offense that they were running was perfect for their team, what they're doing right now, because they're a little bit banged up. And again, it's 2,000 miles, and it's hard to go that far away and win. It's not easy in this league. Anything more about Saturday night's game? Okay, looking at this Saturday afternoon's game, the weather expects to be just as nice as it was Saturday night, and I know that whoever comes to the game will be fired up and excited, because the fans that do come are just, gosh, they were loud, and I know that no one came by and asked for a refund after the game. So I think everybody got their money's worth and enjoyed the game, so we're very pleased about that. They're led Tulsa, which was, they beat us by 3 points last year. We beat them by 4 points here, I think, 2 years ago. The games have always been very, very close. They're a little bit different team than they were a year ago with Todd Graham, with Coach Blankenship. They're a little bit different, but still just as good. But, you know, I mean, they're beatable. I mean, they've lost 3 games, for crying out loud. You know, not like they're Green Bay Packers or anything like that. They've gotten beat by Oklahoma and Oklahoma State and Boise State. And then they're undefeated against all us others. But they are really, really good. And they're healthy, and they're ready to go, and they're fighters, competitors, and undefeated in our league. Number 1 in our league. And the Houston game is going to be a tremendous game. And we wish them all the luck in the world in that game. And I want them to concentrate on that as much as possible. Not taking away from anything from us, but we know we're way down the list, so they can show up and just beat us, and probably. And so, you know, I wouldn't want them to get overconfident or anything, but they do have Houston the next week for the championship. But I don't know if it's going to bother G.J. Kinney, because G.J. Kinney is one fantastic quarterback, was one of the highest recruited quarterbacks in the state of Texas, went to the University of Texas, played behind a guy by the name of Colt McCoy for a year and said, maybe I'm not going to play here for a while. So transferred to Tulsa and has been tremendous. He can run, he can pass, he makes great decisions, he's competitive, he's tough, he's an experienced veteran. I think it's at 35th start or something like that he's had, and he is really the heart and soul of that offensive team. Got two speed backs in Jatrell Douglas, number 25, is the guy that's going to take most of the fly sweeps that they run, and Watts, J.C. Watts' son, is the other running back that's kind of an inside runner, really elusive. And then they have a great big 250-pound fullback, tailback, Singleton, that they bring in short yardage and goal lines, and he runs over people. And with a real solid offensive line, some really good receivers, and they're very, very well balanced offensively, run, pass. They have a great kickoff guy who's now their punter and field goal kicker. Their defense, have a beautiful looking defensive end, number 94, Tyron Walker. He's big, fast. One of the Marshall kids, running back, cut one back and ran it for about 50 yards, and number 94 almost caught him. It was like, oh my God, that guy can run. And but their best player is number 32, Cornelius Amick, linebacker. He's 1 or 2 or 3 in the top conference in tackles, and number 26 is a free safety for him. He's 6'4", 225 pounds, and playing safety. I hope he plays safely against us, but he'll probably play safety against us, so he's a pretty good player. Questions about Tulsa?
You've had decent success against another Central, it seems. Talk about, I guess, having the game here. Does that make?
Oh, I think having the game here makes a big difference. There's just a lot of excitement involved with this week because this is our seniors. This is a senior game, their last game in the Sun Bowl. It means a lot that we win that game, and that our seniors and our team perform well for each other and for our fans. A kind of a going away gift, and I think the fans will be appreciative of the way that we play with the enthusiasm and emotion that we do. We know that who we're playing is really, really a good team, and that it inspires us to even play better. We know that this is, gives us a chance to be bowl eligible. So there's all kinds of reasons we have to be motivated for this game.
Does the senior day serve as kind of a distraction, or does it kind of put the rest of the team on point?
The senior day can cause a distraction to some kids. I think I saw Lou Holtz actually talking about it on TV the other day, talking about, I hope the seniors don't get tears in their eyes and get all emotional before the game, because when that happens, they don't play very good. So we got to take just one game at a time, and every game's, you got to prepare for it the same way. So I think it's going to put us on edge, on point, be ready. We know the importance of the game, so there's no more amount of want to win this game than we'll have. We have everything in the world to win this game. We just got to make sure that we prepare normally and prepare correctly every week the same way. That gives you the best chance to win.
Speaking of one, I was talking with Blankerton about it. This game doesn't mean anything for them. If they win or lose, they're going to play Houston for the division title.
Can you remind him of that? This game doesn't mean anything to them because they're going to play Houston for the division title anyway. So if I was him, I would save the equipment. Don't get it all banged up. They got new little helmets with the big T on the front now, so don't get those all scratched up, and just play their JVs. How about, did he buy that?
He said he was an area of concern, but I think he read it. Who's the better quarterback, coach? Kenny or Keenan?
Well, Depends on who we're playing. Jay Kenny is the best quarterback I've ever seen in my life. What are you talking about? Okay, see you out there Saturday.